in the mind. Let's start. Okay, so welcome to the session today. We are holding the fortes show for the course Grow from Self-Worth to Net Worth. Grow from Self-Worth to Net Worth. That is the class that I will be taking today. We have promoted this, and this is a foretaste to the training we're going to be having in the month of January. As the year begins to come to a wind, you find out that people are making plans for the new year, and a lot of reviews are taking place. People are reviewing, trying to know how the year can be for the plan that can help you become more, become better in the new year. So right, a 60-minute session, so much as 60 minutes, because I want to sufficiently whet your appetite in preparing for the program itself, which is the training. Let me say a little more about it before we go into what we have. The program is a self-development and self-leadership program. It is very, very integral to helping you position for a better time in the new year. And that's why I've done 2 weeks of reviews around how 2024 has treated you. If you have not seen those videos, you can catch up with them on Facebook, on Mind Your Character. Right now, we're streaming live to RCV. It's possible that we also upload this video on the Mind Your Character channel much later. So, but this is a course that RCV is doing in partnership with Mind Your Character. So that's what we've got today. My name is Bostede Urishola Obasa, and I'm going to be your trainer today. I am a character development trainer and a consultant, helping individuals and organizations reap the fruit of character building, so to speak. And what you gain as a result of it is stability, success, and sustainability for your personal and corporate brand. So we're going to go ahead today to talk about grow from self-worth to net worth. What are the keywords today? The keywords are self-worth and net worth. And the word grow is also very key because it's such an active verb word there. And it's not a command in this sense. It is showing the relationship of what you should do with your self-worth and net worth. I will quickly define those two keywords, and then I'll give a few other very important benefits that you can take advantage of as far as today's show is concerned. So we'll go into it quickly and you'll soon find out. First of all, let me define the word self-worth. Self-worth. And after defining, I'm also going to give you what I call the synonyms or other words for it. Self-worth. What is self-worth? What is self-worth? Amazingly, a lot of people can quickly conclude and say self-worth means self-esteem. Yes, it's one of the aspects of self-worth. But in the context of character development, self-worth refers first to the value of your person. The value of your person. That is the first thing to note when you hear self-worth in character development. So self-worth, according to Brian Tracy, I'll start with a quote. According to Brian Tracy, self-worth is the foundation of all other achievements. So he's already given us an idea of the importance of it. Self-worth is a foundation. If something is foundation, what do you do with foundation? You give foundation the necessary attention because it has to carry the weight of the building. So when you say a thing is foundational or fundamental, it means that you pay good attention to it in order to be able to have the most or the best out of that particular scenario or that particular adventure. So don't forget that my class today, which is just a foretaste, I am expecting you in class on January 25 to have a full-fledged self development, personal development, personal capacity building session, which is going to tailor made for your leadership and your personal life and everything that has to do with you. That's going to be January 25. Saturday, January 25, 2025. So when you remember 25, 25, like 25/01/25, significant date. Don't forget. But for today, I want you to be able to get as much as possible. What has Brian Tracy said to us about his own submission about what self-worth is? Self-worth, according to Brian Tracy, is the foundation. So we're beginning with the foundation. Is the foundation of all. Foundation is a key word for me in Brian Tracy's meaning. And another key word for me is all. And another key word is achievement. These are so important and they are interwoven. So Brian Tracy, who of course I believe knows what he's saying, is a master when it comes to personal development, training and all. If he says to you that self-worth is the foundation of all achievements, it means that your academic achievement, your financial achievement, and the rest of them are all built cadre by cadre, level by level, upon your self-worth. So self-worth, according to Brian Tracy, is the foundation of all achievements. Let's try to go further. Remember, this is not just my usual talk show, Mind Your Character. This is a teaching session. So let's make an advancement into other things that help us understand the meaning of self-worth better. I have an interesting definition here. We'll take this definition from Wikipedia. And it says, self-worth refers to the inherent value. So we are posting home with the frame of reference of our training. Word here is value. 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 Self-worth refers to the inherent value you assign to yourself. So, yourself, because the word self itself talks about you. Value is keyword for me, but let me read through this entire definition and then we'll get the crux of it. Self-worth refers to the inherent value you assign to yourself as a person, regardless of your achievements, failures, or external approval. That's not all. It says it is deeper, more intrinsic belief that you're worthy of love and all. Okay, so the key word there for me is value. So left for me, my own definition of self-worth is your self-value. The word value is one word you must get used to all through these 60 minutes that I will stay with you on this foretaste show. So, self-value. How important is self-value to net worth? How important? Is it really important? So what do you mean by self-value? So there's another word that can help you come closer to what I'm saying about self-value, and it's called personal value. Personal value. Still around introductions, let's quickly meet another word. Yes, that is telling you about self-worth. So self-worth is the value. Worth has a synonym called value. Value. The weight of something, the value that something has. Good. That is worth. But that said, there's another word that goes selfhood. Selfhood. Which one should I remove? Okay, since I have value here, let me take this out and use here. Selfhood. I'm sure a lot of us are hearing this particular word for the first time. Selfhood. Selfhood. The way you have neighborhood, motherhood, everythinghood. This is selfhood. And I have a roll of synonyms. A roll of synonyms that define what selfhood is. Selfhood. Selfhood. What are some of those words? I'm going to roll them out to you now. It will amaze you. So let's quickly do an arithmetic. As I'm cleaning this off, please continue to remember the word self-value. Right? Remember always that worth, self-worth. So let's quickly do an arithmetic. Self that gives rise to net worth. However, it is selfhood that defines self-value, that then defines net worth. Okay, so selfhood, self-value, net worth. No confusions at all. Selfhood, self-value. What is selfhood, Mrs. Obasa? Which one is selfhood again? Where did you bring that from? Let's see. Synonyms make things easier. So, synonyms of selfhood are character. That is the character of the self. The individuality of self. The identity, personality, uniqueness, differences, traits, qualities, and all of that, specialness, behavior, attributes of that person or self. Okay? So self has worth, but the worth does not stand on emptiness. The worth of self is built on value. What is this value? What are these values that I need to build myself on so that my net worth can soar? I will give you the definition of net worth and then we'll marry the two together. So let's quickly see, what does net worth mean? What does net, and I love a particular definition that I saw of net worth. What does net worth mean? I saw Wikipedia saying he called net worth the total assets minus liability. But then he said financial and non-financial assets. Financial and non-financial assets. So every time some people hear net worth, Dangote has blah 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 net worth. Bezos has this net worth. And Otedola is what this amount. Beautiful. So truthfully, financial qualification or quantification are one of the most outstanding ways to determine people's net worth. But guess what? Those are only financial net worth. There's another kind of net worth that ranks at par with financial, can produce financial over and again, and that refers to non-financial net worth. So for this session and for the session that you are attending on January 25, if you own a business here, it will be so nice for you to ask your team member to attend. Just ask like 5 of them to come be part of it. I will tell you why in this intro. Remember that I'm just whetting your appetite generally today. We have not even scratched the surface of what we have. So, Wikipedia says that it is the financial and non-financial assets. Hmm. Worth, assets. We're getting closer to something really interesting. So we've been mentioning the word worth, and now another word has come in, assets, and another word, liability. So that's the opposite. Let me give you an example. When there's somebody in your life and you find yourself saying something like, ah, this guy now liability. Were you talking about finances? No. You probably were talking about something more than just finances. You're talking about the fact that they are a pest on you. So, my role, my job, my specialty is to help people see that they have probably been looking at success from too narrow a prism. You need to widen your horizon. There's so much that will work for you in 2025 beyond just naira and kobo, dollar or pounds. And you better started on to understand those things and those dimensions. So don't forget, there are two words we've been interplaying with that are like the key words we are using to welcome you into class on January 25. The first one is net worth. The second one is net worth as well as self worth. And I have defined self worth. I have even helped you meet some other new words that have interrelationship with it. And then I've also told you that for this class, anyway, for the general, let's begin from known to the unknown, right? So generally, it is believed that net worth of a person refers to that person's total assets minus their liability. It could be for an individual or for an organization. But I'm saying that for the purpose of what you're learning here, you need to understand that net worth is both non-financial and financial assets minus liabilities of a person or an organization. So that is the definition we are adopting for this class and for this learning. I need to show you quickly a few things that I noted down this morning. So lest I forget, net worth, another word for it is assets. Another word for it is worth. That is, what are you worth? Okay. Another word for it is capital. Another expression for it is resources, wealth, means, wherewithal, fortune, worth, estate, portfolio, substance, status, finances, prosperity, property, and all of that. See, for every one of those things that I mentioned that are physical and touchable, there are intangible versions of them that can produce them the same way the activities that bring the physical can produce them. So haven't you heard of people who never built houses and they owned one and they didn't steal it? They got it on the heels of goodwill. No, no, let me not start going into the main domain. Get your team ready. Get your team ready. We wanted people to have enjoyed their Christmas, started the year, but we started mentioning that there's a training like that. We're doing this foretaste so that you know that you have something to plan for in the new year. So don't finish all your money and dirty December. Hey, don't dirty December, clean it up. Because in December, enjoy yourself. In early January, enjoy yourself. Then settle into the year. Meet me on the 25th of January by the grace of God on a Saturday. And we will be helping ourselves get into the heart of net worth building beyond physical, financial, or tangible assets. There is a level of assets you need to build into your life that takes you into the presence of the great and teaches you how to be there and remain there. Let's not go far. So I have some, before I know now, this time will be running. I have some teasers. They are not teasers per se. They are, let me call them, inspirational lines. It was this morning I was putting them down as inspired. And I just dropped one on Facebook a few minutes ago. So let me read them to you. If you'd like to write them, fine. Or someone on my team can please get them and put under the comments for those who are joining on social media. Thank you, everybody joining on Bosede Rishola Basa. I'm sorry, it's not looking like your network is at its best, but thank you for sticking in. Mr. John Olabode has been there for a while, and so is Mrs. Ekanem Faith. Blessing. Thank you so very much. So, guess what I'm about to do? Roll out some inspirational lines. I'll help you settle into the meaning of the class you are about to attend. The meaning of the class we have prepared for you. How is it going to change dynamics for me in the new year? How is it going to make things stand out for me? So I said in my meditation, I said, putting the cart before the horse. You know that idiom? They say you're putting the cart before the horse. So I said the meaning of putting the cart before the horse is when you are striving, you dey try, you dey make effort, you are struggling or scheming, because some people strive, some others scheme. You are doing all that to grow your network. So see, you are striving, you are scheming, or you are struggling, trying to build your network. That's a new word for today, but I'm sure you'll be hearing they'll say your network determines your network. So this is you striving to build your network, scheming or striving to build your network, and then you are failing. Okay, you build your network because you want it to be equal to net worth for you. Net worth. But guess what? You are failing to grow your self-worth. So you are doing network plus net worth minus self-worth. And you are hoping that at the end of the day, this should be the banger for the new year. That banger, I will learn to scheme. I have seen that people are scheming and they are going, and this year I go scheme. Okay, good. Or I will strive, or I will struggle. You know, you dey hustle am. You say with the hustle am, you are hustling it. Beautiful, because it's good to be hardworking if you are doing it the right way. I would never encourage you to scheme because it has its downsides. But you had a good intention. You are pushing the frontiers. You are trying to build a network. You are meeting people. You dey collect number. You dey collect what do you call it? Call card. You are taking people's number here and there. But guess what? As you are doing that, maybe right now you have Dangote's call card. You have Otedola's call card. You have the brother or the third person in their family. I tell you the truth. Even if you build network more than that, with the intention that this thing will build my net worth for me, if you leave your self-worth behind, you will come back to zero. I'll give you a clear to help you explain that thing. So I said that putting the cart before the horse is when you strive to build your network with the mind of growing your net worth, but you forgot to first build your self-worth. You forgot to first build your self-worth. That is the true meaning of putting the cart before the horse. That's number one. Let it sink in and think very well. So have you been putting the cart before the horse? There is a behavior that you behave even when you eventually need to call Otedola, whose card you have. There's a way to sound on phone. Do you know? There's a way to greet. Are you aware? There is what not to ask him. Do you know? Do you know how? When he eventually invites you to his office or his house, and you have that moment of, should I call it stardom, if that's what it is to you? Do you know how to comport, behave, act, respond, think, so that you will not mess things up? Like, so you don't make the first wrong impression in the mind of that person whose network you are cutting, hoping that it will make you grow your network. Meanwhile, self-worth, dey. So self-worth has a lot to do with your person, your quality. I gave you the synonyms. Your character, your personal values. Who are you? What value are you made up of? When you eventually meet the great people you think they will make the difference in your life, do you know how to comport yourself? Some people get into the presence of great people and they talk too much rather than listen more. It's part of self-worth building. But you see, there's a way that we think that these things are light. You think they come to you naturally. You lie. You will have to pay Mrs. Bosede Olushola Obasa an RCD to learn it. Because if you don't learn it, you will bank your opportunities in 2025 on the wall the way you probably have done year on year. Many of us feel that freedom is about talking and behaving anyhow. You do not know how to comport yourself in the presence of greatness. That is not all to self-worth. In fact, those are just telltale signs. The real issue is fundamental. Remember what Brian Tracy said in that first quote that I started with? He said, self-worth is the foundation of all achievements. And the second one told us that it is the intrinsic value that a person has over others. And I said that your self-worth are basically your personal values. The values you have built into yourself, those things that stand you out and differentiate you from others. So let me attempt to move. I'm going to drop another strong one that you can meditate on, because this is a Fortes show. So my intention is not to tell you everything that will happen in class. It is to help you see why, as you dey plan for January, as you are planning to dirty December, be grateful, be happy, but please save 75,000 naira. If you pay early, pay 65. That's our way of rewarding you, and that's our Christmas gift for you. But you see, you cannot attend this class and remain the same, because the truth of it is that you are going to be able to surpass your wildest imagination by becoming. Because who to become rests on who to be. If you are not the right person, even if they put you, I've heard a lot of stories, analogies of someone who is a poor person who they suddenly wore a robe for and gave the person royalty treatment and brought them into the presence of the great. But guess what? Because inside of them, there's no royalty. They brought the entire element that has been put upon them back to their own level. This will always reduce back to your level. Guy, what level are you? Even if they give a spendthrift billions of naira, it will reduce that billion to the spendthrift level. The mentality of poverty that it carries, it will bring it down to that level. So you see, if there's anybody that should be your business, it should not be Buhari, it should not be Tinubu, it should be me. You, yourself, your personhood, your selfhood, your self-worth, your self-value. Make it a goal that in this year, I will not miss any opportunity due to what I don't know I should do or what I don't know I should not be. As we move on, let me read this to you again. Let me read this. Another thought that hits my mind this. Let me go to the next one. I said, the quality of your person will ultimately decide your fate, FATE, in any network you enter, uncharted. Mind it from the beginning. Some keywords there again. Quality of person. Quality of person. Quality of person. Quality of person. Oh, Mrs. Obasa, are you now saying that God created different people? You know, like when we say, oh, this is made in China, this is China made for USA. Are you saying that like products, like people, are you saying that the way producers of products make different levels of quality of product? Are you saying humans are of different quality? No, that's not what I'm saying. Every human is created with same quality anatomically, biologically. The brain, cells, and every other thing. God ensures that you arrived complete. Your mind, your spirit, your body. But God is not responsible for the quality of person that you become. You are. So the quote I just said from me is the quality of person, your quality of person will ultimately decide your fate, FATE, in any network you enter, uncharted. Mind it from the beginning. Some keywords there: quality, faith, then uncharted. Like when somebody is not chartered. Uncut, unrefined, unskilled, on all of that. The quality of person that you have become will ultimately any network you enter. So let me tell you, that sometimes fate smiles on you and you come before the great. That time fate smiles on you and you find yourself in the midst of happenings. Things are happening positively. But whether you are able to maneuver your way through the provisions of that network, whether you are able to reap the harvest of that network will depend on your person. Recently, some courses have become very, very popular because people are beginning to see that it means more than we ever thought. What are some of those courses? You hear emotional intelligence, be emotionally intelligent, and then you hear something like what's that other one now? So there's so many courses people are being told to take now because more attention is being paid to intangibles. Research has come to that point where you find out that your intangible values will determine your tangible values ultimately. But if there's anything I must leave with you today, because I have just 60 minutes and my time is winding down fast. But don't forget, you have to plan January 25. I did this 1 hour today instead of the regular Mind Your Character to help you see the value you may be missing if you do not join me in class. And I didn't put it at a time when you have parties. Oh, it's a Saturday. My sister is wedding. It's New Year. We decided to use the holidays around the New Year. The first few Saturdays are for parties. We intentionally put it on the last one, just for your sake. That you will not have reason why you will not come. Simple amount, very cheap and discounted, 75,000. But you pay between now and January 10, you can do 65,000. That's a whole 10,000 naira off. And you spend a whole day with me learning the things that have made the difference, not just in my studying, but in my experience and in my life. You don't want to miss it. It's a full day beginning at 9. At 9 a.m., class starts. Of course, normal training packages to be available. You have tea break, you have lunch, you have exercises, you have all of that. But we are being technically intentional about our life in the new year. Enough of banging your opportunities against the wall. And if you think that, oh, I don't need it for myself, send your team members in. We are willing to do discount for you if you have multiple of 5 registrations. So for instance, if 10 people are coming from your organization, we can give you discount on every 5. Isn't that amazing? That comes from the place of the heart of us wanting as many people as possible to understand that the things that will change the dynamics in 2025 are not the regular things that you know. There will be fewer opportunities. But you'll be the ones taking it, because wants to waste the opportunity that they have on people who are to convert it. Two more quick punchlines from me. Your personal traits will trace you out publicly. Your personal traits will trace you out publicly. They are personal, but they will do a public show for you. So be sure that they are sound. Be sure that they are wholesome. Be sure that they are good, positive, and progressive. How to do that? Come and learn. How do I ensure that I'm a person of value back to back to back? That I step into any business. I say, Mrs. Obasa, that once she's in your team, you are good to go. How did I get there? How did I get to that point where the name enters places? The name builds net worth of people. I warned you that the next time you look at net worth as just financial, you are wrong. So your personal traits will trace you out. They trace you. They pick you out of the crowd. They pick you out of the crowd. Now, recently I had a high-powered referencing that I needed. I needed some of my senior people in the profession I was and the people I do business for to reference me. All they said was, write it and bring it. We will sign for you. I do not take that for granted. How many of you that are reference and you will not need to help you lie inside the paper? How many of you worked somewhere before and you can go and tell your oga before that I need this, and they will say, oh, with all pleasure, why not, I'll do it for you? Excuse me, the next time you think that net worth is just financial, you are wrong. If that is not net worth, tell me what it is. You can call things to happen just when you need it. Let me not lie to you. 2025, don't toy with yourself. If you leave yourself behind, you are behind indeed. So quality of person, value of person, crucial to what we're talking about, self-worth. It is not anybody's job to grow your self-worth for you. It's your job. It's not anybody's job. It's not your mom's job. As an adult, you can't blame your mom, you can't blame your dad, you can't blame your uncle, you can't blame your sibling, you can't blame your boss, you can't blame your husband, you can't blame your wife, you can't blame anybody. You are responsible for your self-worth. Get down and start working. I'm interested in helping you walk it through. And have I remembered to tell you that I have a 1 month free, what do you call that thing now? Hand holding for someone who is, I won't tell you how it's going to be 1 year. When you start to register, let's drop the link to register. And please, you will find the payment and everything there, how to register and all. And when you have made payment, you find a phone number where you're supposed to send your payment evidence, and we'll reach you to tell you. There are a lot of other things packaged into it. Once you click the folder that comes with that link, you will find it there. Thank you, everyone joining. Thank you, Taiwo Umar. Thank you. Big hugs from me. So I have about 15 minutes to go. If you have a question, feel free to drop it. We're streaming live to YouTube, RCV on YouTube. By the way, if you don't know, I have a very active and useful YouTube channel, Mind Your Character with Bosede Olusola Basa. And then we have the official one, RCV, on YouTube. Please, once in a while, rather than watch all the movies in the world, once in a while, just visit a place that can give you something. And if you come to my wall, you know that the only thing you get from there is value back to back to back to back to back. That's what we are signed up for. So it is not, as you're coming to class, please remove that toxin from your mind of who you are trying to blame. Come ready to know that it's my responsibility. God created everyone with perfect equal quality from birth. But I decide the ultimate quality of my person. And the quality of my person determines the way I'm able to utilize my network. And my network eventually produces my network. It must start from self, grow from self-worth to net worth. Something happened 2 Saturdays thereabouts ago. Am I correct? It was a Sunday. I was attending a company's end of the year party, and they were also opening a new arm of business. And at the end of the day, towards the end of the event, the owners of the business said they wanted to honor 2 of their team members who have been working for long. And you could see the catalog of self-worth that the bosses had to reel out. Like by themselves, they stood and said, this one has worked for us for so and so number of years, never stolen anything, always joyful, always humble, always this, always that, always that. Guess what? Some people had the same qualification as them. I'm not talking to you here about school qualification alone. It is good. Professional certification, it is beautiful. But the thing I'm telling you about is you. You are in the center of everything. When you are wrong, the center cannot hold. The center cannot hold when you are wrong. So I'm going on to let you know that it's your responsibility. And finally, don't forget that the link will be dropped there. I hope that someone on my, please drop on Bosede, drop on everywhere we are streaming to right now. Drop so that they are busy people. It could skip them just after now. So let's drop the link there so they can interact with it. And I think after now, we should have it on all of our bios attached there so that they can, just as we continue to publicize. But you see, if you ever took yourself seriously in your life, you will come to this class. If you have ever taken yourself seriously, if you have ever meant anything to you, then you will come to this class. I'm so waiting to see you. This final one. Another word to think about. Some adults have never intentionally invested in their person. I will explain to you. You say, no, but I buy clothes, I buy chain, I go to school, I have professional qualification. Good job. Absolute good job. Since your mother gave birth to you, what value have you added to your value? What quality have you added to your person? For some people, after they were born, they were innocent. Wherever their parents raised them in the family, they picked some values from them. Awesome. We all did. Particularly if you were not born an orphan. Even if you were born an orphan, there were people around you. So you had that first environment. Tick. Some people have never intentionally invested in their quality as a person. They have never intentionally learned how to talk. It is the way they learned to talk when they were babies that they are still using in adulthood. Excuse me. No wonder there are so many people who talk and you are wondering, what just happened? Because he has not learned how talking can decide his fate. Fate. He has not learned it. He's still talking the way the people in the environment where he grew up talk. Omo Mushima, I will show you, blah, blah, blah. After showing everybody, what have you to show? Excuse me. If you take your life seriously, in this year 2025 that we're going into, you will join me in that class. And I'm so excitedly waiting to have you in that session. The amount is as cheap as 75,000 per head, but you have multiple of people coming from your end. If you care about your team member, see, let me tell you why you should not attend alone. If you attend alone, only you will go back and go and start trying to make them understand what you enjoyed or what you need them to learn. But if you bring them together, everybody is baptized at the same time. It is a middle class cum high class. It's a personhood class. So, excuse me. So you've never intentionally added quality to your person. Do you know that even your thinking, you need to be trained on what thoughts to allow and what thoughts to discard. You thought that everything that comes to your mind to do, even your emotions, you never knew that you needed to learn how to master your emotions and not allow it master you. Hey, so you're just going around throwing your emotions everywhere. Oh, today I woke up from the wrong side of bed. Oh, tomorrow. Oh, you don't have the monopoly of emotions. Everybody has. So if people are keeping a good head and a straight head, it's because they have learned something you failed to learn. And opportunities are skipping by you on account of it. It's time to learn. Look, you can't do this to yourself. You can't go to Shiloh, go to Congress, go to Mountain of Fire, go to all the other beautiful places, pray in December and enter January. Same person. And they're saying Happy New Year. People say Happy New You. Invest in your person. So, are you as raw as you were born? You are still as raw as the way your mother gave birth to you. Are you still as crude, unrefined, as when your mom gave birth to you? Do you know what it means to have personal values and to stick to them? Do you know how personal values help you take decisions that are difficult for others to take? Do you know how personal attitudes, personal worth keeps you ahead of others? Do you have any idea at all? You do not. Oh my God, you need to be in that class. One of the things I'm going to do for all of my client companies that I've served is to call them by myself one by one and say, don't let your key leaders miss this class. Because if people who don't have value for themselves cannot value your business, they cannot value your customers. It is value and worth that communicates worth. It is value that begets value. It is worth that begets worth. If you do not have self-worth or self-value, you do not know what it costs another to have. So when people go online and throw mods and do mod slinging at every unprovocation, because sometimes they are not provoked, they're just carefree. Life doesn't just matter to them as much as it should. They've forgotten that sometimes the person who they are going to go to tomorrow and say, I beg to apply, had seen them online. I knew of a case of a lawmaker who was being screened, and then the thing he had said on social media, somebody had brought it forth to say, well, we found this when we were doing back fact checking about you. and he had to apologize. He was smart enough to apologize and say those were the days of ignorance. But now, you don't have a need to be ignorant when there is a platform to learn. Invest in yourself. Join in the class. Very soon, everybody shutting down temporarily or fully. December will be dirty. You paint the town red. Open your eyes in January and talk to yourself. My self-worth must grow because it is going to be a decider for my net worth ultimately. Some adults are very confused. Guess why? Because they have never been intentional about growing themselves worth. The values they have, some they got from going to church. So my book of Bible story taught them some. So whatever the Sunday school teacher knew and could teach them, they have. The woman living in their compound, whatever she was doing as they were growing up. And then when they started working, the people in their workplace. Do you know there's a point you get to, you sit down and you articulate what your values are. And those values begin to create value for you on a steady. How do you build a name that opens doors? Self-worth. How do you build a name that your generation will enter into and say, God bless dad, God bless mom for providing this name? How do you build a name that people who are not even your immediate family can benefit? They say, oh, Olushola Obasa, is it the same you have even long lived your life and you're gone? How do you get into that space? Does it look like what you'd love? Does it look like what matters to you? So I'm not looking for unserious people in that class. I'm looking at a case where maximum 50. So that we're not too many are not able to have the kind of one-on-one that we desire to have. But my team is ready and I am ready. Enjoy your holidays. Mind Your Character will return on Friday, the 30 minutes show, the talk show. But today I made it a teaching because I wanted to give you, when your tongue is thirsty and they drop some droplets of water, you know how you're like, oh, thank you, thank you. That's what I did today. There is so much to unpack. It is 2 modules. Okay, so we are going to have 3 modules. I will take 2. Another colleague of mine will take 1. There'll be 3 sessions. And then we would have tea break, we will have lunch. Those are basics for us. Trust RCV. Ambience will be. One of the things we are noted for is excellence. It's one of the values we are built into our company, excellence. So when you enter the venue, even you'll be like, is it a training or is it something else? Get ready. You will feel like taking pictures, but don't forget, it's a serious business class. So you can take pictures, Sha. Because after every serious thing, you must calm down. And so many other things. Like I said, I have a freebie that will be going up for someone. And I'm going to do it for free 1 month. I will not say what it is exactly yet, but it's already in the profile that you would find when you are interacting with us. We'll give you all of those updates. And trust us to give you a blow-by-blow reminder. Pay now and know that you are forgotten and you're just waiting for class. Any other thing you need to get ready ahead of the class, we will also communicate it to you. Today, I have tried to whet your appetite. And I'm closing by telling you that if you arrive at who to become before you build a strong for a lack of stamina required to carry the weight of the achievements. If you arrive at who to become without building a strong foundation of who to be, that will carry the stamina of who you are becoming or the achievements you are getting, you may crash at a height because you lacked the stamina required to carry the achievements. Look around you today. Just choose the way you want your own journey to go and then do the right thing. Ask those who were once rich, they'll tell you. Ask those who were once influential. Ask those who were once successful. Ask those who were once famous. Right now, you are dying to be famous, but ask those who were once famous. Let them tell you the difference between having been once famous, rich, or whatever, whatever, and then coming down back to the base. This is what I represent to this generation, helping you not just to succeed. So many people are helping you to succeed, but I help you build stability and sustainability. You want that? You like? Click that link and then fill up the very easy to fill form. We will get in touch with you and we'll get you ready for class. And it's happening right at our training suits within these premises where we are at. That's how we're starting the year, but it's totally going to be worth your time. The class is titled Grow from Self-Worth to Net Worth, the basic model. The basic model. You cannot attend the advanced without attending basic. That's why we're doing so much of hype around the basic. So once you come in, you definitely can see why you must come for the advanced. It's a certificated course, so you have certificates to go with. But I tell people that be certified as a person rather than just be certificated. Be that emblem, be that signpost, be that testimonial, be one of our testimonials as people who make the most out of that session. My time is fully up. I've been notified. Don't forget that you need to build your self-worth. Is your responsibility. It's not that of any other person. Even if people didn't raise you well when you were young, now you're adults. Come off those excuses. Pick your life up and make it the best. There are a few things you are struggling with. Let's meet in class. We can talk about all of that. It's a therapy session. It's a developmental session. It's very personal, very self-centered. Yes. Employers, don't feel that because I said it's self-centered, oh, let them pay for themselves. No. When people love themselves enough to build themselves up, then they can be more valuable to you. But people who don't care about themselves will never care about your investment. So that's the sense in it. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to every team member back end who have ensured that we could run this for 1 full hour. And kudos to RCV partnering, and I mind the character partnering with RCV today to bring this your way. We will keep putting up the flyers and all the reminders, and we hope to hear from you as soon as now. Thank you, everyone. Any questions? Let me check. Okay, no questions. Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you, Claire Alozie. Thank you, Madam Martins. Thank you, Mr. John. Thank you, Madam Ekanem. Thank you, Brimo. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mr. Ushola Obasa. Thank you, Madam Sheu. Yeah, I can see you. Thank you, Thompson. It's good to see you. Thank you, everyone. And for everyone who would catch up with it on YouTube, you can also ask your team members or people in your network to please catch up with this. This is a very important training you don't want to miss. The date again is January. Go and block it on your calendar. 25/01/25. 25/01/25. Make it a year that stands out from others. I am committed to your growth, not just for you to succeed, but be stable. All those I go up small, I come down small. We can help you. And sustainability will now be your biggest goal. I don't want to build to fail. I don't want to build to lose it. I want to build to last. What do I do? The class is answering that question for you. Bye, everyone, now, and stay blessed. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Let me be careful.